Yeah, so I'm kind of like an entrepreneur at heart, and so I've always had different businesses. And so prior to the pool industry, I'd been working a lot and saving up as much money as I could. And as I started saving more money, I would go online and kind of look for businesses to buy for kind of like cash flow on the side. And and so I came across a pool route that was for sale, and I think at the time it was like $100,000 for I think it was like $10,000 or $11,000 it was making, and I thought, wow, it's pretty good compared to like a standard business. And my best friend at the time, he was looking for work as well, and so I figured, maybe I can get him a job, and then I can make some passive income as well. Um, and he had a pool his entire life, so I figured like that's good. In hindsight, I'm glad that didn't work out, just because knowing what I know now about the industry, I think it's a little risky to just kind of throw someone into 60 pools right off the bat. Um, but yeah, so that didn't work out. He ended up getting a different job, and so that kind of fell through. But fast forward a couple years, and I was looking for supplemental income because there had been like a couple life events, and my my income had kind of decreased, and so I was looking for something to kind of make more money. And then I kind of remembered the pool industry, and I was like, maybe I can get like a little route on the side, and kind of have some passive, or not passive, but supplemental income from that. And so I I was helping a guy for like 6 to 8 months. And then there was two routes in my area, and I ended up getting one of the routes. And real quickly, I learned that this is more than just a little part-time thing. And I also learned that there's a high ceiling in this industry, and it's kind of just as much as you want to take from it is kind of, you can grow this thing as big as you want. In reality, there's nothing really stopping you. So so yeah, I kind of dove in, and I've been doing it full time.
Okay, and for 3 years now, it sounded like you bought a 55 pool route.
No, no. So I
It's
bought
okay.
it was a 25 pool route, and I've been
Okay,
growing it since. So it's
so
been
now you're
growing
at
a little bit
55.
steadily. And then I did take 10 more pools from another guy pretty recently, actually. But outside of that, I've just been growing it organically and steadily. And just recently, I'm trying to kind of push the growth a little bit more. So I'm actively advertising and pushing for more growth. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then when you bought that route, I'm curious. Um, I know there might be some people listening to this who um, bought a route too, and maybe they didn't have a good experience. Maybe they're just getting into the pool business. They're considering buying a route versus actively growing just from the start. Maybe I'd be curious to hear like where you bought it from. Anything you wish you would have known? Did it go well? Could it have gone better? These sorts of things with buying your 25 pool route.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, there's a lot I learned for sure. So
Okay.
at the time, there was two routes that I was looking at in my area, and I really wanted the first one actually, but but he kept going back and forth, and he ended up wanting to keep it. And so I went with the second one, and I'm really glad I went with the second one, because that guy, he had 500 pools and like 10 employees, and so he had a big thing going. And so I kind of learned the professional way of running the route from him, whereas the other guy was kind of just old school, and there was no real um, organization to how he was running things. And so I'm really glad that I learned from the second guy. And and he was great. He gave me 3 months of guarantees, and throughout those 3 months, anytime I gave him a call, he was quick to answer me, and he took care of any of the needs that I had. And but I will say that I learned real quick that you got to be you got to really know the numbers. And so I knew the numbers on his. I knew some of them were underpriced, but going into it, you kind of really learn the overhead and the cost to you of each pool. And he had a lot of customers that were long-term customers of his, which is good because they're stable. But at the same time, he didn't raise their prices as everything kind of, especially after COVID, everything just doubled, quadrupled in price.
Sure.